So today we're looking at Double Dragon Gaiden: Rise of the Dragons. Double Dragon Gaiden is a pixel art side-scrolling roguelite beat-em-up made by Secret Base. For context, I have played and unlocked almost everything in the game, and I've played a lot of the solo and quite a bit of the co-op. Before we hop into a discussion of the game proper, a few notes on the technical issues. At launch, there were issues with G-Sync displays and the game periodically slowing down. This has since been fixed. The developer was very quick to resolve this issue, which was nice to see. I have also encountered a few issues with enemies and how they interact with the map. I have on a few occasions had enemies knocked into areas of the map that are inaccessible. I'm not sure if this is due to neutral explosions or what. I have not been able to reproduce this. I have also had closed off arena areas where a wave of enemies doesn't appear to spawn, leaving me trapped in the room forced to quit my run. While you don't lose your full run, you do have to start the level over, which can really be a damper on a playthrough. I've also had issues when alt-tabbing out of the game or selecting another window. It may be patched out as I haven't been able to reproduce this while writing the script. What would happen though is the keyboard would still control the game while trying to use a different window. So if, for example, I was typing a message in Discord, I would also hear the menu navigating and found myself in the settings menu at one point. This is frustrating for a few different reasons and definitely shouldn't be how the game works. Something I didn't think of until reading other people's issues was the lack of online co-op. As someone who hasn't played a lot of co-op recently, that was definitely something I missed, and it does feel odd that it's not here. At least there is local co-op though. On that note, I also saw that some people were saying there are issues using two controllers for local co-op. I personally didn't run into this issue. This is likely because I was streaming the game to a Steam Link with one controller plugged into the Steam Link and one connected to my PC. We did have issues with the controllers though, where if player 2 selected the level or continued through the story, their controller would start controlling player 1, and player 1 lost control. We noticed this, exited, and then had player 1 do all of the level selects and story slides, and we no longer had any issues. As far as the menu goes, there isn't really a lot here. For a game like this, that's okay. It has separate sliders for audio, which is really the only area where you could ding this game. The tutorial is a bit lackluster when trying to introduce people, but it's okay. My issue with the tutorial is mostly that, at least for me, I am good at learning through doing and really bad at learning through reading. Having a standalone learn the game or tutorial section would go a long way for people like me. The how to play does a really good job though of setting expectations for what the gameplay loop is. Once you start setting up a new run, you get a lot of options that allow you to customize your run, and with it, the amount of tokens you get at the end of the run. The level of customization here is really well done. I like having the option to up difficulties on parts of the game I think I'm good at and leave alone the parts I'm not great at. There is also a wide array of characters you can choose from. The starting characters are the most boring and slowest of the characters. However, that isn't to say that they aren't fun to play. You can use tokens to unlock additional characters after runs. Each character I've unlocked has been a blast to play and adds their own unique kit to each run. There are some that are easier than others, but they all feel fun to play when you can execute them. The runs are really enjoyable, the art style is vibrant, and the environments are interesting. Each level has stages, the number of which increase based on how many you've previously beaten. This is fun and allows you to change what a run looks like each time you start up a new one. There are definitely bosses I found to be more difficult, so I would often opt to face them first or second so that I didn't have to deal with their more difficult later fights. This adds a lot of depth to a fairly simple formula, but I can't help but feel certain boss orders are easier than others, though this may just be that I'm better at playing for certain bosses. There are a few final notes I want to bring up. Ramps. They aren't fun. Typically no fighting occurs here, and since you can't sprint up or down them, it really slows down the action of the game. In fact, sprinting will slow you down as it runs you into a wall, which you then have to recover from before you can start moving again. The cash out system. It's fun and keeps me excited to replay the game. I think this is a good idea and keeps alive that arcadey vibe. Playing unlockable characters versus themselves. This can be really frustrating. There should be palette swaps or something, as it can be hard to tell which character is yours. This is especially relevant if both characters are knocked back while on top of each other. With all of that though, my final thoughts are still that I highly recommend this game, especially if anyone wants to play solo. If you want to primarily play co-op, you may want to hold out, especially if you can't find a workaround with the reported controller issues. Let me know if you have any thoughts about this game or if you want to see my thoughts on other releases. If you want to see more thoughts on other games as they come out, please subscribe. Thanks!